So I'm an astrologer going through their Saturn return. Saturn is exact for the final time in this return on February 27th for me in my chart. Or no, it'll be February 26th with the time different. My bad. My Saturn is retrograde in Aries, 1 degree and lots of minutes. And in the previous year, like summer solstice time, that was the first time that Saturn was exact in my chart, and it cleared out a lot of fate. What about also a crazy kid? What is happening? Do you hear this? Do you see this? Look at him. Oh my god. I love him. He's also like wild in a great way. Anyways, back to the story. February 26th is not that far away. I've been looking at this part of my Saturn return for a while, wondering what's going to happen. For the most part, when I was studying like several years ago to get ready for my Saturn return, what do I need to know? What do I need to look at? What do I need to focus on? Astrology stuff, which now I help clients with that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. But that was what got me into more serious layers of astrology, was looking at my Saturn return, because my life was falling apart. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, this is clearly Saturn related. Let's figure it out. And so I did. Now we're here. Crazy. Anyways, I've been wondering about this part of my Saturn return for a long time, because the other parts of my Saturn return, Saturn's crossed in my chart over my Saturn twice now, once in direct and once retrograde. Both of those times cleared out a lot for me, and there was some new beginnings. There were some things that started, new prophecies, new, fashions, new fates, new stuff. And I've still been, over the previous months, clearing things out. Necessary, needed. Okay. But now I can feel, especially with the Aquarius eclipse that we just had, I can feel the new life coming in. There's parts of me that I forgot about that now I'm remembering, which thank God, I'm so grateful for that. I remember what it's like to be myself again, which is so good. I'm also seeing all of the rights that I've earned through this, like not just the Saturn return, but like in my 20s, sort of. And before then too, I suppose that's true. Aries has to do with the birthrights. So Saturn in Aries, if you're also a Saturn in Aries, it'll show a lot about like the birthrights that you've earned during the Saturn return. A king is born, but has to learn how to protect his throne, sort of thing. So I've been learning about that, clearing out things that don't align with my purpose, with my work, with my destiny. Well, simultaneously, because I've been clearing a lot of stuff out, there's room for new stuff, which that's the new stuff that's coming in now. And because of the nature of this time frame right now, oh my goodness. Look at his crazy. Anyways, cat distraction done. I'm looking at this point in my Saturn return in the middle of an eclipse season, right after Saturn and Neptune are going to be conjunct, knowing that there's already new cycles in my life that are coming in. Really wondering, what does Spirit have for me this time? Because the times before when Saturn crossed in my chart, could not really have predicted that that was going to be the stuff that was clearing out. Like, could have maybe looked at it and like had some guesses, but not really. I have an Aquarius stellium ruled by my Saturn in Aries, so one Capricorn placement and a bunch of other things ruled by those placements in my chart. But anyways, it was gonna affect a lot, which this time I know there's gonna be a lot affected by this. February 26th is also when the Mercury retrograde starts. Ooh, okay, interesting. And just a couple days after that, first quarter moon in Gemini on the 24th. So I guess we'll see. It's gonna be weird, and I can feel that it's gonna be very, 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 very double it down, triple it down, stand 10 toes down, prophetic, okay? So I'm not like scared though. I was a little scared years ago when I was studying the Saturn return. I was kind of freaked out because of how like destructive my life had been at that point. But now that I have it together, thank the gods, things feel pretty good, thankfully. But I can tell that there's room for improvement, maybe more discipline, maybe more gain, more gifts, more, I'm not exactly sure what the word is, blessings, possibly. Like, I'm also sitting here tonight having the realization of how hard I've fought in a lot of the situations I've been in, and like, I feel like I'm returning to my self-love, thankfully. And with the return of that self-love, realizing how much war I've really been in. I don't know what it is in the air tonight, but all of a sudden, poof, love is back. And now I'm looking at everything I've been through that has to do with attack and been like, whoa, I did that and I got through it. So that's been kind of crazy. So I don't know really what to expect. I can see the things that I'm working on. Also though, having an Aquarius stellium ruled by a Saturn in Aries, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I'm just down for the ride. I'm always, with the Saturn in Aries and my South Node is there. So I just have to lean into it. That's part of the nature of that work for me. And then I make the chaos and then structure comes out of that. So I'm just going to have to lean into it. I have no idea what's about to happen, but I can tell that it's going to be life altering. It already feels life altering and I'm not quite even there yet because we're in the eclipses. It's really crazy. And the Aquarius eclipse that we just had ruled by Saturn in Aries partially. Whoa. Yeah. And my Mars, which rules my Saturn in Aries, is in Virgo, and that's the other eclipse that's coming up. Someone tell me what's about to happen. I'm sure I'll know when it happens. We're just still not quite there yet. So I'll update you soon. And then after that, I will be getting off of the Saturn return mountain. Okay, thanks for listening. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. If you are starting to go through your Saturn return, look 10 degrees on either side of your Saturn, and that is going to be the degrees that your Saturn return is happening in. Welcome, Saturn in Aries, to Saturn in Aries. It feels like home again. Thank God. I'm so grateful. Oh my goodness. We finally made it. What the heck was Saturn in Pisces? Thankfully, we're done with that. Good for what it was. Grateful that we're back. Ooh. Keep up the brew you need to do. I will too, and I'll talk to you soon. Also true.